Developing story here on the WHAS11 night team. Louisville Metro Police are looking for the driver of a car who hit a man and killed him at Lexington and Payne Streets tonight and then took off, did not stop. Metro Police say it happened at about 6:30 tonight in the Irish Hill neighborhood there. Investigators say the driver was heading west on Lexington Road when that driver hit a man in the roadway and then kept going. Police officers and EMS administered aid to that man at the scene, but he died at University Hospital. Police say they're looking for a light-colored car tonight. If you can help police, call the anonymous tip line at 574-LMPD. Also happening tonight, the big rush is on again tonight to find bottled water in Bardstown. The water shortage emergency is still in effect there. We first told you about it last night as breaking news here live at 11 as WHAS 11 night team's Connor Steffen was the only reporter reporting from the scene at 11 last night. He's back in Bardstown with photojournalist Elijah McKenzie showing us how the rush only got worse.
As the snowfall hits Bardstown pavement,
First chance of snow, people go crazy.
parking lots of nearby grocery stores are looking like this. Inside stores, checkout lines stacked up all the way through shopping aisles. Some shelves left completely empty.
We know that we're getting snow and some ice, and so we're trying to get a couple last-minute things so that we can get home.
Here's how one grocery store delivery driver described Thursday.
Chaotic. Panic, slightly. Over panic.
And in the middle of a water shortage emergency.
It's just another thing, you gotta roll on with it.
Take a look at these shelves inside the Bardstown Kroger, now barren after a day of shopping.
I think people are just trying to conserve that and get it off the shelves.
There was actually no water whatsoever, which, I mean, the water issue going on in the county plus snow.
Some shoppers made the extra effort to order bottled water ahead of time Thursday morning.
I seen it on the news this morning, and I knew people were going to start coming for water.
The minor panic comes with some progress on the city's front.
We can successfully operate our system at 3 pumps.
The polar blast caused a pipeline in the basement of the water treatment plant to burst. Flooding Wednesday shut down the Bardstown water plant for hours. It's now back up and running, still down a pump and trying to catch up.
The tanks were just so low, not only throughout the city, but even at the plant itself. It's just going to take a bit to get those filled back up.
City officials like Bowles are asking all 10,000 plus Bardstown users to be conservative with their water use as the area takes a hit of winter weather.
I've driven for years in the snowy weather. As long as you take your time and you're slow, and if you don't got to be on the road, don't get on the road.
With the city still under emergency water shortage status tonight,
I reckon I might go out of county to buy some water just for my daily drinking.
people in Bardstown are making necessary adjustments and making do. Connor Steffen, the WHAS 11 night team, on your side.
And this cold snap is placing more demand on car batteries, and for those driving electric vehicles, that means you cannot get as far on a single charge. A Louisville Tesla owner we talked to tells us her car battery was draining even while she wasn't in the car.
I had 200 miles going to Lexington, which is plenty. I noticed as I was getting into the parking garage, it was like 40 miles when I got to Lexington to work. And so then I started watching it on my app. I was like 35, 30, 25 because of it being so cold.
She told us she had to call her mom, who had to drive to Lexington to charge her car while she worked. Experts recommend warming up electrical vehicles while the vehicle is connected to a charger and before you plan to take it out for a drive. They also say lowering the heat and driving slower can help save energy there and extend the car's range with that battery. Now to a breaking story we're following here on the night team. Just before 11 o'clock, Louisville Metro Police on the scene of a shooting. This is on Brownsboro Road near North Height Avenue. Now again, that's lower Brownsboro Road. This is a Clifton neighborhood. We're told officers first responded at about 10:20 tonight. Metro Safe confirming one victim has been found at the scene. We are waiting to learn more details from LMPD. Again, this is Lower Brownsboro Road at Height Avenue. We'll bring you more details as we learn them. An update coming your way tonight. And we have an update tonight on the damage to the pavement on I-64 after that fiery crash that killed a semi-truck driver just east of the Cochran Hill tunnels. Kentucky Transportation says the asphalt suffered some damage to the extreme heat. The crash near the Cochran Hill tunnels involved semis, cars, and a garbage truck. The Trimark camera looking east captured the smoke and fire coming up from the interstate right after the crash early yesterday morning. The road finally opened up just after 1 this morning and does remain open. Crews will monitor the damaged section and look for a permanent fix once the weather improves. Happening tonight, the Louisville Metro Council's Special Counsel Court met for the first time this year, and tonight they took steps toward a trial that could remove Councilmember Anthony Piagentini for ethics violations. He represents one of the fastest growing areas of eastern Jefferson County. WHAS 1119's Taylor Woods and photojournalist Aspen Hester covered the court.
Please stand and raise your right hand.
The first meeting of Metro Council Court since Councilmember Anthony Piagentini was found guilty of 6 ethics violations involving a $40 million American Rescue Plan grant that he co-sponsored for the Louisville Healthcare CEO Council. He took a 6-figure job with that council. Council members were given a general overview of the process by the county attorney's office.
It will be President Winkler who will make decisions on testimony and evidence.
Just 2/3 of council or 18 votes will decide if Piagentini gets to keep his seat. Winkler says it's important to be transparent with the public in the face of serious allegations.
Part of a democratic society is you've got to have faith in your government, and the way you have faith in your government is through transparency. It's also what holds government accountable.
The council court will meet again next Wednesday, January 24, to address the pending motions to dismiss some of the charges filed by Councilmember Piagentini's attorney.
The charging committee brought the same 7 charges that were brought by the Ethics Commission and then added 2 perjury charges, and those are the ones that we will hear a decision on whether to dismiss or not.
Piagentini texted me with comments after I asked him if he's expecting to keep his position moving forward. He says, "Your questions are a bit premature. Nobody has made a case yet. I am probably not going to speak much about this until it is done. I will let the testimony do the talking until this is concluded." Meantime, moving toward a formal ethics trial.
Hearing none, without objection, we stand adjourned. Thank you.
Metro Council President Marcus Winkler says they are working with both sides to finalize availability to begin the trial, possibly around late February or early March. New testimony suggesting that the celebrity super chef Darnell Ferguson of Louisville had his 3 children with him the morning he allegedly choked his estranged wife inside her home. We do want to warn you that some of the details of this story and what was said today in the court are disturbing. Ferguson, who was arrested last week, was back in the courtroom today. He was appearing over Zoom. St. Matthew's Detective Mark Richardson, the lead on this case, says based on conversations with Ferguson's wife, the couple is separated and going through divorce. He says Ferguson called his wife several times the night prior to the incident and got no answer. The next morning, Ferguson allegedly drove to her home with their 3 children in the car and entered the home without permission to find his wife and another man in bed together.
He put both of his hands around her throat and started to strangle her. As he did that, according to Ms. Ferguson, he said, "I'm going to kill you." The next thing she remembers, she was on the floor. He calmed down a little bit, stated that he was sorry, then said, "You need to get yourself together. The kids are here. They're going to be coming inside."
The evidence will be presented to a grand jury on February 19th. Ferguson has pleaded not guilty. He's out on bond and ordered not to have any contact with the victim. Police have arrested a man for street racing and doing donuts in a Louisville park. In court records, investigators say Quincy Waddell was seen on security footage last September doing donuts at an intersection in Shawnee Park. According to the video, he was driving a Dodge Charger with several people in the car. Then on January 5th, police in Cincinnati contacted Louisville Metro Police when they found a flyer advertising a street racing takeover event in Louisville that Waddell was expected to attend. Officers responded to Zorn Avenue near Cox Park, where they tried to stop Waddell's car. Instead, investigators say he drove off. Waddell was arrested yesterday on charges including street racing and fleeing police. Metro Police will be having a news conference about this arrest tomorrow. Only hours after hearing arguments, the Indiana Supreme Court reinstated Richard Allen's original attorneys today. Allen is accused of killing 2 girls in Delphi, Indiana. One of the attorneys was accused of letting a man into his office to take pictures of the evidence. The evidence was then leaked to a podcaster. After that, Allen's judge dismissed his attorneys, saying they were insubordinate. But today, justices questioned if that was really enough to take them off the case, and attorneys argued against Allen's case, saying there isn't any precedent.
It does not appear this was done the proper way. You're supposed to have a hearing. The court did it sua sponte, which means on their own motion. There was a hearing in chambers. So did she exceed her authority by the manner that she presented them back in chambers, saying, "You're either out or I'm going to publicly out you?
Well, there's certainly no U.S. Supreme Court case law or Indiana case law that says there has to be a certain amount of procedure.
So there's no process involved at all for taking a judge, no hearing, no, I have the suspicion that this is going on, I think you're incompetent, and you're out.
The trial judge was ready to have a hearing with Allen's attorneys, but they chose to withdraw before the court. Right now, Allen's original attorneys will represent him in a trial that's now scheduled for October.